Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to an exciting evening of professional boxing for your entertainment. This event is brought to you by United Promotions and Association with Jay Cox, Harley Davidson, Ignite the Passion, Roger Sports Mag, Trans Clean Protein, Rival Technical Boxing Gear, and Undisputed Design. Ladies and gentlemen, this event is brought to you under the supervision of the Ontario Athletics Commission. Commissioner in charge at ringside, Mr. Ken Hayashi. Medical supervision supplied at ringside by doctors Jason Sue and David Venturi. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tammie, the Tasmanian Devil Johnson.
A record of 4-3-2 for Tammie Johnson. Our opening bout here on Championship Boxing inside the Hershey Center in Mississauga, Ontario. You see two motorcycles on the stage. Well, the fighters will be revving it up here tonight. We should start off with a roar with our very motivated ladies. And Roger, we had a chance to talk to Tammie before the fight, and I tell you what, I very rare you see a fighter that motivated for a fight.
No, she's raring to get back in here. This hiatus wasn't by choice. As we mentioned, she had surgery on her neck. There's a titanium plate in there, actually saying the same surgery that Peyton Manning had. They had to move her vocal cords to get that plate into her neck. Not sure what it came from. It could be from all the contact sports she plays. She was also in a car crash, doesn't know, but she got that steel plate so she could get back into the ring. She didn't necessarily have to get that steel plate in her neck.
Her last fight was in 2009. It was a split decision loss. Here she is 3 years later, making her return to professional boxing. You'll notice the tattoos, sleeves as they call them, all up and down her arms. A lot of them have significant meaning, and we'll get to that as this fight progresses, but here she comes. She was born in Chicago, makes her residence in Linwood, Washington.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to Natalie, Miss Too Bad Brown.
Miss Too Bad, with a record of 5-2, 22 rounds boxed, riding a 2-fight losing streak right now. Hasn't been in the ring as well for 3 years.
She said life happened. Her mind had to be right to get in the ring. She thinks it's right now. Her last 2 fights you mentioned were losses. Those ones did go the distance. She lost close ones on the judges' scorecards, and one of those fights in Tokyo, Japan. She said that was a great experience, but she did learn a lot from that one, that you need to go for it.
And here she comes. You mentioned the fight in Tokyo, Japan. Her last fight was in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Very interesting hairstyle for Natalie Brown. The fans certainly appreciative of Natalie Brown, certainly a hometown advantage, so to speak, anyhow.
Yep, she does live in Mississauga for the last few years. She is an American, but she loves it here in Canada.
Olympian Chris Johnson behind her, her trainer. Certainly somebody very well experienced and seasoned to have in your corner. Hasn't fought inside the Hershey Center before, has fought up the road in Casino Rama though. That was in 2008. As Natalie Brown makes her way inside the ring for our opening contest here at Championship Boxing involving the ladies. As we take a look at the tail of the tape, or the records, pardon me.
Ladies and gentlemen, this first bout of the evening is scheduled for 4 2-minute rounds in the light welterweight division. The judges for this bout: Jeremy Hayes, Kelly Zolnichuk, and John Wiley. Your referee, the man in charge, Mr. Dave Dunbar. Introducing first in the blue corner. She weighed in at 142 and 1/2 pounds, wearing black, trimmed with red and gray. Her professional record, 4 wins, 3 defeats, with 2 draws. From Washington, Tammie, the Tasmanian Devil Johnson. Her opponent in the red corner, she weighed in at 144 pounds, wearing black. Her professional record, 5 wins, 2 defeats, with 3 big wins coming by way of knockout. From Mississauga, Ontario, Natalie, the referee, Dave Dunbar.
Ladies, I know you were given your instructions in the dressing room. I want you to protect yourselves at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Touch gloves now. Come out at the bell. Good luck to you both.
So we're just about set for our opening contest here. 4 rounds, 2-minute rounds between Natalie Brown and Tammie Johnson. The bell sounds for the opening round. As we mentioned, both ladies haven't been in action in professional boxing for over 3 years. Interestingly enough, Tammie Johnson adding more to her plate, soon to become a professional football player.
Yeah, she was supposed to be at a mini training camp today, but instead she's up here fighting. I think her football team is okay with that, though. She's doing some physical activity.
Or they're too scared to say otherwise.
Quite possibly.
Nice jab there, throwing the jab. How much is ring rust a factor when you and your opponent have shot down by Natalie Brown, catches Tammie Johnson looking right on the neck, right on the chin, but continues on. And Johnson's still coming forward after that.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a lot of ring rust for Natalie Brown. I guess it depends partially on the intensity of your sparring leading up to the fight, but both will have some rust for sure.
Notice the tattoos lining the arms of Tammie Johnson. She had a meeting with Freddie Roach a few years ago, and the advice that he gave her, work hard, is tattooed on her arm.
Also has the members of her family who have passed away. Her mother passed away when she was just 7 years of age. Her name of her daughter, also one of the tattoos on her arm. And these are 2-minute rounds in women's professional boxing.
Nice shot again there by Natalie Brown. Able to place those shots. Pinpoint right there. Tammie Johnson getting a couple in now in the clinch. Working well in the clinch right there is Tammie Johnson, but Natalie Brown certainly got the crisper shots in round number 1. And a nice flurry there to end the round.
Oh, a good round for Mississauga's Natalie Brown. Did look a little sharper than Tammie Johnson, but Johnson has never been known in her boxing career to be a slick boxer. She's going to come forward, throw some haymakers, so Natalie Brown just has to be aware of that, and her conditioning looks sharp as well. Here's a couple of those connections. Nice little uppercut right there. And she has Johnson lunging forward awkwardly, and Brown gets another one to score.
Some coaching there by trainer Chris Johnson.
Johnson, of course, training Steve Molitor at the height of his career when he was the IBF champion.
A Canadian kid.
And there's Tammie Johnson's husband. That's her trainer. Scott is his name. So first and foremost, he wants to make sure his wife comes out tonight unharmed.
Round 2 begins in this 4-rounder. Opening things up at Championship Boxing. Johnson taking on Brown. Johnson with the fight shorts. Another flurry there by Natalie Brown. Natalie Brown seeming to get those combinations right where she wants them. Nice head movement there. Tammie Johnson hits the canvas. And Tammie Johnson seems to be okay. She's nodding her head. It looks like she will continue in this bout. Brown, almost got the uppercut there. Nice shot to the body.
Tammie Johnson still coming forward. Might not be the best strategy. Try to get out of this round first.
Looking for those counter punches is Natalie Brown. In fact, that was what led to the first knockdown. Again, counter shots to the body, body, head. You can see those combinations again. And that's what's going to prove dividends for Natalie Brown in this contest. Another big shot to the head there. Winding shots, and Johnson is just standing there.
She's in trouble.
She goes to the canvas, and the fight is waved off. Natalie Brown is your winner in the second round.
There's Scott Johnson attending to his wife, Tammie. The doctor is now in the ring as well to make sure she's okay. She does look coherent. But Natalie Brown did tattoo her with a number of hard shots. Natalie Brown telling me before tonight's fight that her nickname used to be Too Bad, but now she prefers to go by Sugar. And she was certainly had some sweet moves, I suppose you could say, tonight.
I was just going to say that this performance tonight was sweet as sugar. I'll tell you that as we see some sportsmanship right here. A hug between both fighters, and congratulations, Natalie Brown. In this fight, certainly not showing any ring rust whatsoever. Great combinations. As we're going to take a look at some of this fight once again. And it was those combinations, the counter punches. As Tammie Johnson was leaning forward, Natalie Brown was able to catch her with shots, putting her down to the canvas twice in the second round, en route to the fight being stopped. That was knockdown number one. Again, nice shot there. As Tammie Johnson comes forward, there's another shot flush right to the ear area, disturbing her equilibrium. And more looping shots. And there it is, lowering the boom, Natalie Brown. And there's the fight, and there's the referee waving it off. Time now for Pierre Bernier for your particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 1 minute 29 seconds of the second round. The referee puts a halt to the contest for the winner, Natalie Brown.
Roger Wardell in the ring with your winner, Natalie Brown.
Thank you, Arda. Be talking to Natalie Brown here in a moment as she gets some more applause here from the crowd at the Hershey Center. Natalie, you're an American, but you do live in Mississauga. Tell me what you're feeling right now with the victory here in your new hometown.
Oh, this has been my hometown for a while. I've managed to acquire so many friends that they're family now. So I am Canadian, eh? So representing to the rest of the world to the fullest. I love you guys, and thank you for your support.
Natalie, we were wondering, it's been 3 years since you've been in a boxing ring. We didn't see any ring rust. Why?
Oh, goodness. Why there's no ring rust? I stayed in the gym. I kept my tools sharp. It's just, you know, under the lights, it's a different story, right? So I wasn't too sure how I'd perform tonight, but so far so good. Wouldn't you think, everyone?
That was a great fight. Thank you, Natalie.
Thank you so much. And thank you, United Promotions and Michael Clancy Promotions, for making this fabulous, wonderful event happen.
A lot more great fights on the card tonight. Let's go back to Arda O'Connor.
In the Hershey Center in Mississauga, Ontario, we're